In the last lecture, we were seeing some sort of measurement instruments. They were precision instruments. Continuing the same series, there is some advancement, and let us see what advancements are there. Next is the digital micrometer. You have seen the micrometer in two range. One as an inside micrometer, another as an outside micrometer. But this is a digital micrometer. Please keep in mind we have discussed primary measurement, secondary measurement, and tertiary measurement. Digital micrometer is example of tertiary measurement system. That is, the system is more complex, more evolved. Therefore, you will get a direct reading over here. So no need to calculate the least count of the micrometer. No need to see how readings are obtained. Just you have to press the thumb. Make sure that angles are touching each other with the workpiece, and you will get the reading direct over there. Next is the height gauge. It also uses the same principle of vernier caliper and used especially for the measurement of height. Since we know number of times the long components or the heighted components have some grooves, and we have to locate the groove position from the bottom. So in all aspects, vernier height gauge will give us accurate results. Let us see into the diagram. This is the vernier height gauge. We can see one by one parts. The base is made up of casting. Then the slider mechanism is given. Slider mechanism is given. So the base is made up of casting. The slider gives the mechanism for up and down movement. Onto the slider is having a fine adjustment clamp. The beam is provided as same like of vernier scale or vernier caliper. The guiding edge is given. This is the clamping position. Upper face of the jaw. Now this striper will be in contact with the work pieces, or the height adjustment will be done. And this is the measuring jaw. There is also glass fitted for the ease of calculation, or you can call it as a removal of parallax error. Slip gauges. We are moving to the most interesting part of our topic, that is slip gauges. Let us study in detail. Slip gauges, what are they? They are the rectangular blocks of steel made to adhere one itself and therefore obtaining height gauge. Since in the experiment of sine bar, if you remember, we have obtained h, the factor where sine theta is equal to h by L was required. The height was made using slip gauges. Over here, the slip gauge and their different grades have been given. They are rectangular blocks of steel with a cross section about 30 by 10 mm. The essential purpose of slip gauge is to make available end standards of specific length by temporarily combining several individual elements, each representing a standard dimension. Now this is called as ringing when two slip gauges are connected in a perpendicular relation. Please keep in mind the temporary magnetism is going to induce into the slip gauges. Therefore, it is an essential part that ringing has to be done in a clockwise anti-clockwise manner. For adhering or for making temporary magnetism, we have to connect them in a perpendicular and move in a clockwise. And for removing that temporary magnetism in an anti-clockwise direction. Over here is the slip gauge of following dimensions, that is different range 1.001 to 1.009 with a step of 0.001 in 9 pieces will be given. Likewise, total we will get 45 slip gauges for the combination of different heights. The special sets are also there provided, and the normal size up to 10 mm with cross section area above 10 mm is given to you in the lecture already. How to select slip gauges is the commonly asked question for which application, for example, calculation of height, calculation of taper, etc. Which slip gauges are to be used? Let us see. Standard procedure is followed in selecting slip gauges. It should be such that minimum number of slip gauges and combination of blocks is to be done. The procedure will be clear if we explain with an example, but I am not going to cover example over here. Since you have solved the same example in your notebook, let us move ahead. Moving to the electrical measuring devices. Strain gauge, the most widely used pressure and force sensitive transducer is called as strain gauge. As the name indicates, strain will be counted in terms of gauging in order to know the deflection. It is given by the formula R is equal to rho into L by A, where R is the resistance, rho is the resistivity, A is the length, and A is the area of cross section. Now these are the formulas which we have described in the lecture, but let us see over here. Gauge factor G of a strain gauge is the ratio of relative change in resistance to the relative change in length. So this is the diagram which explains unbonded and bonded diaphragm. The resistance of wire will be shown over here clearly. As the force has been integral, the diaphragm will move and the torn wire will pass on the current to the resistivity. Next is potentiometer. A potentiometer consists of resistive elements provided with a sliding contact. This is the diagram where single term and multi-term potentiometers are explained. Single term rotational, multi-term and Helix potentiometer are few of the reading potentiometers. Next is linear variable differential transformer, or shortly we call it as a LVDT. This is the diagram where primary coil and secondary coils are placed at a fixed distance. A core made up of soft magnetic material is to be rotated. Now, when the basic rotation is given to core, its displacement has been noted. The current is induced over here. Next are the comparators, and we will take a very short review of comparators. Mechanical comparator, optical comparators, pneumatic and electrical. Now this was the mechanical read comparator. This is the optical comparator, where lever for mechanical magnification will help us to get the reading, and optical sense or optical lens will give the magnifying image. Next is pneumatic comparator. Air supply from the source will be noted, and any minute change in the air pressure will be given or will be noted through the orifice. Next are the electrical comparators, which includes strain gauge, variable inductance transducer, and variable capacitance transducers. So we are moving towards the summary. What we have learned up till now, let us conclude. In this unit, linear measuring devices and comparators, we have discussed. The unit begins with description of non-precision instruments like scale, caliper, divider, and telescopic gauge. Next, precision measuring devices, for example, vernier caliper, micrometer, height gauge, and slip gauges were explained. The principles of electrical measuring devices like strain gauge, LVDT, potentiometer have also been discussed. The four basic types of comparator, that is mechanical, optical, pneumatic, and electrical, are also discussed. Let us see on the last note what are the keywords of this module. Transducer is the device which when actuated transport energy from one form to another. Piezoresistive effect is defined as phenomenon due to which resistivity of a conductor changes when it is subjected to strain. And gauge factor is the gauge factor of a strain gauge, ratio of relative change in resistance to the relative change. Now I have asked you to solve one question where least count of vernier caliper was asked. We have solved over here. Least count of vernier scale is main scale spacing or main scale reading minus vernier scale reading, that has given to 0.02 mm. Next, we have asked for the special set as well as normal set slip gauges, and we have obtained the results over here. Therefore, combination can give us the answer of 93.458 mm. Also, you have to take care of how many less number of slip gauges can be utilized over here. In the next session, we will try to cover what are the advanced devices, how statistical quality control will help us for the same. But going to the next lecture, let us take a very fast and short review of few definitions. The very first definition we have seen was measurement, where we spoke that comparison of unknown quantity with standard is called as measurement system. But the standard, what are the standard? So we have discussed that the meter and the imperial yard were the two units which out of which the meter was placed in 1855 at Paris, and imperial standard yard was discovered at 1899. The meter is a block made up of platinum iridium alloy, where iridium is having 10%, and the standard dimensions of the meter block were 16 centimeter width, 16 centimeter height, and 1020 mm length. So on this basis, they have completed. That was the primary standard. Next was the imperial standard yard, which has been on the same basis on a square box of 1 by 1 centimeter with a length of 16 centimeter. Now these were the primary standards. Dependent on these primary standards, they have come to the National Physical Laboratories, and they have made specimen copies that are called as secondary standards. The secondary standards give permission for tertiary standards, like the companies like Mitutoyo creates vernier caliper or micrometers. They are used in workshops and different industries, and dependent on these vernier calipers, the scales, regular use scales or metal scales are being created that we commonly use are called as working standards. Error was the important issue to be discussed. Let us get to know how with the type of error also. What were errors? Errors is equal to the difference between or the logarithmic algorithmic difference between actual value minus expected value. So errors are of two types. First was absolute error and second was random error. Now after knowing that errors and how errors are generated, we are trying to eliminate the error by using more advanced technology. Therefore, we have shifted from a regular scale to vernier caliper, where we will get accurate readings. From vernier caliper, we have gone to digital vernier caliper, and from now digital vernier caliper, we are moving ahead to the optical comparators called as profile projector, where exact readings can be made. So for today's session, this was the methods, this was the instruments to be told to you. We will continue the same series in the next lectures. Thank you.